Hey everybody! I'm back from vacation and ill, and I sound like a demon, and I'm gonna play some Isaac, and I'm gonna be the Forgotten. You know why? Because I got some tweets while I was gone. They were like, hey, are you ever gonna play the Forgotten? And I was like, dude, you were just the excuse I needed, was one tweet being like, I like the Forgotten, and here I am. So it has been 9 days since I've played Isaac, maybe 10, because, you know, the thing about Isaac, dude, it's always the #1 thing that gets backlogged. Because I'm very good at repetitive tasks. When I got, like, summer jobs, I was never the guy who wanted a summer job that was, like, challenge yourself. I was always like, hey, we got, like, 10,000 records. Don't mind if I do. We got 10,000 records, and we'll pay you $9 an hour to input them. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like a dream come true. At least, oh, my eternal heart, because I'm sick, you can't judge me. Anyway. I'm good at repetitive tasks. Isaac is a repetitive task. There's two things that I think, two words in the gaming industry that have an undeservedly bad reputation. I understand why they do, because not everybody... Oh, I totally forgot. First off, you fool. Grab that. Secondly, open that. And then grab this. Yeah, why not? One of them is linear. And I want to just point out, first off, people are starting to come around to my line of reasoning on linear. Because I don't know why. When I grew up, everything was linear. Because you could only fit, you know, 8 kilobytes of data. I thought maybe that would hit the switch. You could only fit 8 kilobytes of data onto your cartridge. I'm basically an idiot, by the way, as you've noticed right there. And then open world games came out, and everybody, for whatever reason, decided this is the future. Open world games are the only thing that matters now. Could we... I don't know where the secret room is. I'm not gonna worry about it too much, okay? So linear got a bad rap. I love linear games. I could give you all sorts of high-minded ideals for why I love linear games. One of them is, I never spend time trying to find my way around. That's really what a lot of it comes down to. The other thing is, you know, you've heard the expression probably like, wide as an ocean, deep as a puddle. I think a lot of open world games have that going on. Some of them, really rich experiences. Grand Theft Auto 5, The Witcher 3, etc., etc. But some of them, you know, it's like, hey, you can do anything, but none of it is really that fun. I tend to prefer a more tightly curated experience, but it's not for everybody. The other one is repetitive. Boring is a bad word. Tedious is a bad word. Repetitive, I don't find it a bad word. You know what's repetitive? Sudoku, crossword puzzles, playing chess and only ever using E4 as an opening. Yeah, that doesn't mean it's not fun, though. A lot of the things we do on a daily basis are very repetitive. Like, for example, the example I was about to use, I can't use because Google DeepMind will flag this video as adults only, but you get the idea. By the way, hey, manual reviewer, you're doing the Lord's work, and I'm being sincere. You got a tough job, you know? I don't know what it's like, you know, you get the average video pops into your hopper. It's 4.5 minutes long. More accurately, it's 10 minutes and 1 second long, so it's the adequate length to put a single mid-roll in. That's the new meta, obviously. Then this guy's video steps into your hopper. It's 55 minutes, you gotta figure out if he ever says the F word in it. Every once in a while, one of y'all, or more of y'all, are saying the videos have strong language, including the F word. And I'm not messing with you. If you look at the Google back end, it says strong language, including the F- word. I ain't been using the F word. If you're only watching the first 4.5 minutes of this video, you can trust me, alright? I ain't gonna drop a swear like that. Like 2 years ago, I deliberately was like, hey, I think there's like a bit of a sea change happening on YouTube. And by sea change, I'm not trying to get around the language filter. I mean like SEA. I'm gonna stop swearing so much so that I can, you know, continue to do my job without being any less entertaining, hopefully. And it's very disheartening for me to see that a manual reviewer comes through and says strong language, including the F word. I don't say the F word in these videos. In the NLSS, fade me. Guarantee we say some heinous stuff during that show. Outside of the NLSS, don't you dare. Okay, just don't... how many freaking Algiz runes do we... Okay, per throw, sure. See you later. We're gonna hang on to the Chaos card, because it gives us some good potential. But anyway... That's I've said my 2 cents on that. This is, I'm not gonna say all ages friendly, but teening up, alright? Repetitive is bad. Or sorry, tedious is bad. Boring is bad. I don't find repetitive a bad word. Maybe my brain is broken. It is broken in all the right ways to keep an increasingly dwindling amount of you people around. And that works for both of us, I think. Alright. I've remembered how to play Isaac. Sort of. That's good news. I go through like a disassociation sometimes. Because Isaac is such a part of my daily life. Literally, every day I play this game, as long as I'm at home. If I don't play it for a while, and I see someone else playing it, my brain is like, I don't understand. It's like from a past life. I don't understand how to interact with that thing that you're interacting with. Kate was watching Mathis play Isaac. And it's the strangest feeling, because I was watching it and I was like, my brain doesn't fully understand, I can't get that yet, what he's doing, but it still knows that I could do it better. That's how I feel when I watch Mathis's content. I'm joking, okay? Mathis and I don't talk as much as we should. And that's probably why I consider him my greatest friend in this whole industry. Anyway, how was my vacation? You know, is a classic vacation where the first couple of days are great, and then it never got bad, but it did spend some time being like... I don't know, this is dangerous here, but... Oh, this is a weird one. I think we just take, you start with this, and then if we take this, which I'm going to, obviously, it's good but also sort of dangerous. I was hoping for a red heart there, because unless we get spirit hearts here, which we did, thankfully, we were going to lose a bone heart, but that actually worked out pretty nicely. Anyway, life is but a dream here. You know, after like, you can't go on vacation in this business. And I don't mean that as like a woe is me. You know, it's like, I always say, a lot of content creators out there, I feel like, you know, they lost their fire to some extent. They lost their hunger. They were working a job they didn't like that much. Finally transitioned to full-time YouTube or Twitch. And now everything on YouTube and Twitch annoys them. And they're like, I just want to work in a grocery store. And I'm like, by all means. By the way, I may have pneumonia. That's how much I love the job, and also am chained to it. But I do love the job, but you can't take a vacation. You can take like 3 days off without getting too guilty. At least, you know, this is where I stand. I won't speak for everybody else, for once. You can take like 3 days off. After that, dude, the anxiety starts to creep in, and I'm like, oh no. People have short attention spans. Am I even going to exist when I come back? And then I come back and people are like, hey, looking forward to the stream. And I'm like, oh, I tricked you. I don't know how I did it, but you're still waiting around. Fantastic. You know, it's just that increasing anxiety that one day it's all going to fall apart like the house of cards that it is. So it was good, but as always, I always, and it's very sad. I recognize this is not something that I'm proud to admit, but you know, like halfway through any vacation, I'm like, I want to be home. Meanwhile, when I was at home, I was like, if I don't go on this vacation, I'm going to end up IP banning like one of my top subscribers for taking something they said out of context, because I'm all burned out. It's the cycle of life, I guess. But I am happy to be back. I don't necessarily think I have pneumonia. I have, you know, I'll spare you most of the gory details. But I have a cough. Many people on the internet have described this cough as productive, which is ironic because it hasn't really been doing much for my bottom line. And then you know, a sore throat, mild fever. When I was landing in the airplane yesterday, I really felt like my eardrums were going to explode, which is like the #1 sign for like, oh yeah, you're messed up. So I looked up, I went on Google, and I went, pneumonia symptoms. And it was like, yeah, you got pneumonia. And then I looked up bronchitis symptoms, and it was like, you got bronchitis. And then I looked up flesh-eating bacteria disease, and I was like, well, I got like 3 out of 5 of those. So I may, you know, here's the thing, I'm very smart. You might not recognize it from the amount of bone hearts I've been losing here. But I'm basically a genius. So I know that you're thinking, that means you probably just got a cold. What I'm thinking is I'm like patient 0 for the first hybrid disease. Flesh-eating pneumococcal bronchitis. I'm sorry to dazzle you with all those big words, but again, it comes very naturally to me as a self-appointed genius. If I weren't a genius, could I have won the grade 11 music award for getting the highest mark in my high school in music? Exactly. If I were a genius, if I weren't a genius, sorry, let me rephrase. Geniuses often misspeak. If I was not a genius, could I have won the award in 5th grade for having the highest average in my entire class? I don't think so. Hey, NL, what about 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade through 12th grade? You know, a really smart kid moved from a different school, and that created some problems for me. I'm not going to say that I wasn't outworked, because I think that would be disingenuous. But 5th grade, I mean, you know, it's whenever a really smart person talks, they're always like, 5th grade is like the truest level of competition between like minds. If you never heard that, well, maybe you went to the wrong school. I'm loving the empty vessel. It's a nice little run to get us reacquainted here. Everything's going just fine. Take me down to the next floor where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you? Don't do that. Do not do that. I don't know why I feel like I'm doing stand-up right now. How many of y'all are married? And then in the audience you hear, woo! It segues into my next anecdote. So I've been coughing, and my wife, I think, has fallen victim to a myth about health, which is that all coughing is, and I've heard other people say this. It's not the only person I've ever heard say this. By the way, could have just hit that with the bone, but rest assured, I'm aware. All coughing is optional. And I'm not sure, there's a better word for it, but I can't think of what it is right now. You know, like, psychosomatic is not really the right word, but it kind of gets across what I'm trying to say. Like, you never have to cough to actually clear your throat. It's just a mind over matter thing where your brain is like, hey, there's something in your throat, and then you cough to clear it, but you don't necessarily have to. You know what I mean? Like, coughing is idiomatic. Is that the word? You get the idea. Basically, you don't have to cough, medically speaking. You just feel like you have to cough. Hey, goodbye, Boneheart. I never needed you anyway. And this, honestly, for the most part, I tend to agree that a lot of coughing is not necessarily because you actually have something you need to clear from your throat. It's just because you're used to coughing, which is fine. It's not like I'm the cough police, like, oh, do you have pneumococcal flesh-eating bronchitis like I do? Well, then I'm gonna need you to be quiet, mister. But this has been, it's been an extreme exercise in restraint for me personally. I'm just gonna be honest. First run back buys me a lot of lead time. I don't necessarily need to take an item that is not that good. And, well, it's fun, but it's gonna cost us some time, you know? Plus, the straw is also very good, especially with 13.3 damage. Oh my god. If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna back up here. So, this has been an illness, and I've had it since, like, last Wednesday. Hold up a second. I will do this. Extremely fair trade. That's so fair trade, you could buy it at Whole Foods for an extra $1. Who am I kidding? it would be an extra $4. I have a Whole Foods anecdote as well. We'll save that for a second. So this has been one of the rare times I have an extreme biological need to cough. Like, I feel something percolating in my throat. Sometimes I don't feel anything percolating in my throat. And then it comes up in an instant. Like, it's not like it bubbles. It's just like instantaneously like, get me out. And every time I cough now, I have to also... Sure. I know this is actually bad for us, but it's kind of fun. And I get to talk in my teeny voice. Don't do that. That was bad for your throat. So now every time I cough, which that one, again, not voluntary. I have to engage in a little bit of what I would describe amicably as a discussion, a tete-a-tete, if you will. That's right. I'm very worldly. Ooh. And she's like, don't cough. And I'm like, I gotta cough. And she's like, you don't have to cough. If you feel something in your throat, all you gotta do is... Not my finest moment. All you gotta do is go... But don't actually... Because when you cough, it's actually gonna irritate your lungs and throat, and it's gonna make things worse. So I've been trying that. I just want you to know, if you ever hear me go... I'm not engaging in something that would get me in trouble with the Google DeepMind language filter. It's merely me trying to be less percussive wherever possible. I know why I'm sick, by the way. Let's go for it. Wait, no, it's steps 2. Thank God I slightly missed the door. I know why I'm sick. And just learn from my mistakes is really all I'll say. Sunday... Day 2, 1 second. Hello, Ruka, my son. I've missed you as well. Welcome. Welcome. We, you know, sitting inside of our parents' place, or my parents' place, for, you know, like the 3rd day or the 2nd day. Starting to get a little bit stir-crazy. So they went to bed, and I was like, hey, let's go out, have some fun. Don't you jump on that computer. Don't? Yeah, that's right. You don't jump on the computer. I was like, hey, let's go out. You know, I went to college in this town, so I know the hot spots, and we'll just avoid those and go to a quiet place that's more appropriate for someone of my age. And also my desire to not have to shout over loud music. So we went out, probably stayed out a little bit too late, indulged a little bit too much. The next day, we went on a 5-hour boat tour of an area called the Thousand Islands. Are there really 1,000 islands? What, do you think they would lie about it? I'll be honest with you, I wasn't counting them. It's not like each island is the size of Japan, but there are 1,000 islands. I didn't get as much sleep as I would like, wasn't necessarily feeling that good the next day, and interacted with a lot of people. Thank you. I kind of wanted those, but that's fine. You know, it takes all kinds to make... I'll take that one. Thank you so much. I set myself up for failure, is what I'm trying to say. So, you know, learn from my mistakes. Definitely, if you're gonna go out on a 5-hour boat tour in an open boat with the wind whipping at you, you're gonna want to sleep a little bit more than I did the night before. Now, I thought, you know, 1 day's punishment for that. I still want the chaos card, but we can get it. Pretty acceptable. I'm not gonna complain about having 1 day where I don't feel good, but the next day, I had like one of the strongest fevers I've ever had in my entire life, and I was like, oh no, this might be a 2-day thing. Here we are. Ruka, look at me in the face when I talk to you. Ruka, here we are 6 days later. That's right, buddy, 6 days. That's a lot. That's like a 1/1000th of your lifespan at the high end. And I'm not trying to be morbid, I'm just saying to put it in perspective. It's not like, I mean, I'll probably live for like 30,000 days. It's still not that much. Maybe 40,000. I'm not running the numbers in my head. Mostly because I can't. Hello. Anyway, long story short, that's where we're at. You want a song, Ruka? Is that what he's chewing up the Herman Miller here? Just relax, buddy. This chair costs more than your life. Costs more than my life at the current moment as well. So like all of this is relatively bad, but it's also relatively free, so we'll just leave. What's my Whole Foods anecdote? Okay, if you insist. You guys ever hear of something called bulletproof coffee? I first heard of it maybe 6 years ago. It takes a little while for like hipster trends to make it down here, up here, whatever. Depends whether you're looking at the map or like, you know, the topology. Topography? I don't know, dude. El Topo? Ay caramba? So bulletproof coffee is coffee or espresso, I'm not sure, but you know, it's a coffee-based beverage. What do you add into it that makes it bulletproof? Kevlar. Just joking. I thought that'd be a good one. No, you add in butter and some kind of like brain chemical, like a nootropic stack. And I was gonna say, but like a real one, not like the ones that get sold on the internet. But I think I don't know if there's such a thing as a real one, to be honest with you. And today, I had the greatest disappointment in my life, because I've made fun of this coffee for like years. Because I'm jealous that I've never had it, and it's expensive, and it tends to be consumed by people with a higher net worth than me, so it's very easy for me to ridicule it and be like, look at these idiots. Wait, you already found the second secret room, you dummy? Just get out of here. Ruka. Went to the coffee shop today. They said, hey, take your favorite coffee, try a bulletproof. I said, hey, I'll have one of those bulletproof coffees. And with the saddest look I have ever seen from a service person in my entire life, the barista said, actually, we're not doing bulletproof coffee today because we're all out of butter. And I was like, well, my bone hard. I gave it a chance. It doesn't exist. I have decided bulletproof coffee is a scam. I tried to order it once and was rebuked. As a result, I'm not convinced that it actually exists. You might say it sounds expensive. You would be correct. It was going to be $4.65 Canadian for a medium coffee. AKA, what, 3 cents American? Yeah, never heard that one before. Something, something. Last time I heard that, I fell off my dinosaur. We get it. Our currency is worth less. Nobody knows why. It's because your economy is less strong. Oh, is it? So is the American economy like 100 times stronger than the Japanese economy? Is that why 1 yen is worth a penny? Hey, you're taking a few too many bone hearts right now. I'm gonna need you to relax. Hey, I didn't get close enough to use a key there, just so you know. So I'm just gonna level with you. Let this be a lesson for all you young gentlemen out there. Don't get too close to the lock if you don't want your key slipping in. Now, what is that lesson supposed to mean? I don't know. And I feel like if I explained it, we might violate the terms of the Google DeepMind adult content filter algorithm. So I'm just going to move along. But anyway, I'm going to use Book of Shadows. Because I need some invincibility. Hello.
Everybody is throwing up.
Another cat threw up?
Tomo threw up 2 times again in the bedroom.
Oh my god.
Threw up right in front of your door. I text messaged you saying cat's throwing up. I don't know why. I think they were like, we were stressed out, like he went away.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna express it by vomiting everything.
You know what? As gross as it is that I'm gonna have to clean that up while suffering from a life-threatening disease, I will do so. And I'm glad they didn't throw up so much when the cat sitter was here. It was nice of them to cut him a break.
You should take a break after this recording. Because I can hear you in your throat.
You can hear me in my throat.
There's sickness.
Oh, there's a sickness. Ooh,
Yeah, but you know, like, you sounded better an hour ago.
I think I sounded better 6 years ago.
Stop! Disgusting!
Don't shame our cats for throwing up. They got no choice in the matter. It's not like they overindulged in some adult cat beverages. By the way, now taking your suggestions, what would be the names of some adult cat beverages? I'm gonna try to hit you with some. It might take me a minute here. So you gotta. Here's what you do, okay? You take. Oh yeah, I got it. Jägermeowster. There you go. You take. You run your head. It's just a search, okay? You run it through your head, the names of some famous brands, and then you apply some cat-related word to them as well. Jägermeowster works. There's gotta be more. I'm trying to think of something to work with Erdinger Dunkel. It's not gonna happen. I'll tell you that much right off the bat. Hey, could you drop a red heart? I'm kinda losing my mind. And I wish somebody would tell me I'm fine. That is a red heart. Thank you. That was 2 red hearts. Well, 1.5. What are we gonna do with this chaos card? I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We are going to make another chaos card. No, we're gonna make Hush pay. It's been a while. Hey, mister, stop that. Thank you so much. And we're good to go. Like, there's gotta be something with Budweiser, right? We get these, like, we get a loot crate for cats every month. And it always comes, it's like, enjoy your perfect April. I hope you said hi to your paw for Father's Day in June. And I'm like, man, I feel bad. Yeah, just waste the keys. Who cares? I feel bad for this company, because, like, in the 10th year of their existence, they're gonna be like, I don't know. I can't think of any puns right meow. Please buy our products. Have we ever used Santa Claus before? Yeah, about 1,000 times. Dang. No. Absolutely not. I'm like disassociating right now. I'm watching this and I'm like, or I'm playing this run and I'm like, I don't even know what's happening, but I do know that I'm alive and I'm thankful for that. Thank you so much for the speed upgrade. Penetrative shot, not that necessary, but key beggar, actually like useless. I know, Ruka. Meow. Meow. Maybe he's trying to come up with the pun. Well, I believe in miracles. Where you from? That doesn't really, there's nowhere to go from there. I would like you. Could you won't pick it up. Well, I can't pick it up either, so we're at kind of an impasse. I am considering taking Tammy's head. The only thing that's stopping me is that even though my IQ has dropped 40 points as a result of this flesh-eating illness, I'm still not that stupid to give away some guaranteed invincibility. It's a nice little ramp up, you know, to remind me what Isaac's all about. Don't miss. You almost missed. I almost missed on the southern hemisphere there. You know what? Maybe I am that stupid. Let's give it a shot. I'm not going to the void floor. It hasn't earned it. Maybe if they fix it in Ed's card game, we'll consider it. Ah! You have done me a great disservice, my friend. We'll store that. We'll store that. If I get hit as Bone Lord, I will die. So let's be Blue Lord instead. A much more sustainable endeavor for me and mine. Red hearts, okay, no, it's fine. It's not like I was counting on those red hearts to keep me. Red hearts, all right, not necessary. I don't need red hearts. Red hearts are for cowards. I'm not a coward. That's obviously highly false. I don't even want to check because it's red hearts. Yeah, see this? I didn't need them, so I thought, why bother? Anyone ever figure out what happened in that run where I may have accidentally suicide kinged myself? I was very confused when it ended. I thought, you know, I have very low Isaac self-esteem for the most part, until challenged by somebody. When people were like, it's your mistake, I'm like, yeah, I know, that was my assumption, but like, what mistake specifically did I do so I can avoid doing it again? With that one, I don't know, I might have hit Q twice. It was such a weird one because like my game also, when I loaded it the next time, it was like, you didn't die, but also your streak is dead. It was weird. I hear more, more of a commotion coming out from outside of my office right now as well. I'm concerned. Cats are weird, man. When I was at home, my parents have 2 cats. They're weird too. One of them, they're named Poncho and Lefty. Lefty, well, let's start with Poncho. Because Poncho's like he's the control. He's like a normal cat. You go Poncho, he goes, yeah, what's up? Lefty, you say hi to Lefty, he looks up in the other direction. If you spin something in front of his head like head rolls around even after you stop spinning it. It's like he's experiencing everything with a little bit of like real world lag. And that's why he was my favorite, because I was like, finally, an animal I can relate to. Those cats are weird too. One of those cats, I think it's Lefty, has an anxiety disorder. Which, if anybody out there, by the way, if you believe, you know, depression or anxiety is like, just look at all the stuff you got going on in your life and get over it. This is a cat. Lives in a house instead of the forest. It gets fed whatever it wants multiple times a day. And it's still like, I'm depressed. I'm anxious. Anxious about what? That's how you know it's like, you know, there's a brain chemistry element to it as well. I don't want to get into it because, you know, run the risk of Jenny McCarthying myself because I'm ignorant, but I err on the side of trusting the people who have it, you know? Get out of here. Get out of here! What does his anxiety disorder do? Same thing that it makes humans do. Poop on the floor every now and then just to let people know you're there. So sometimes he'll just be walking around and he'll be like, there's a piece of cat poop on the floor. Why? Lefty's anxious. You know? Cats are weird. Their vomit mechanism is like way lower. Or it's got more of a hair trigger than human beings. They'll vomit at the sight of any... They'll eat garbage and then have the audacity to throw up. And you're like, yeah, of course. What did you think was going to happen? Human beings do that too. But there's an element of recreation involved, I think. I'm talking about if you have one too many Jaeger Meowsters. By the way, if you're German and you're going, why is he saying it like that? That's because this is how we say it, alright? I don't know how it's pronounced in the native tongue. Maybe it's Jagermeister. There's also the Meowster thing going on. I'm not sure if you noticed. There's a little bit of a pun. It's pretty erudite. Wouldn't be surprised if it went over a lot of people's heads. Oh, please. Dude, Rotten Baby is crushing it. I do this weird thing. I turn my own volume down. Like the volume on my end. And then I start talking more quietly. And it's good because my voice is like rattled right now, obviously. But it also, I have to realize, your audio is not changed. So I turn it down and I'm like, alright, let's get serious for a minute here. I'm still trying to think of more puns. That's how I know my brain's broken. I should have at least 3 puns by now. Come on, Coors Light. How do you... I saw that it was Bonar. Doesn't matter, we win. Have some sportsmanship. Don't make the game feel too bad. Coors Light. Cat's Light. Doesn't work. Michelob. Meowcalobe? Not very good. You're gonna have to go back to the drawing board on that one. Got one for you. Catty Light. There you go. So that's 2. If you're not American, you might not get that one, and that's okay. It's a regional joke. Molson Catnadian, not that good. Heinecat, a little bit better, because the pun comes at the end instead of at the start. La Feline du Monde. Okay, it's a little bit too regional. That's okay. Hey, we may go back for that bone heart, by the way. Remember when I said it was not necessary? That was my way of telling a joke. It turns out it may well be highly necessary, in spite of our relatively extremely powerful run. Nah, who needs it? Stay tuned for next episode, where I give a very insightful anecdote about the cough syrup I'm about to take called Buckley's, whose slogan is, "It tastes awful, but it works." I'm already percolating it. I see I need a little bit more of a lead time for these bits now than normal. We have won. That was a good, expedited, warm-up run. I'm happy to be back. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It's a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.